Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm going to do a quick little rant about the 2018 Mini Countryman hybrid, plug-in hybrid actually. I'll show you that real quick. In the back of the car you get this gas handle looking thing, plugs into an outlet like that, just any household outlet, and then what you do is you come around to the side of the car here. Here's your plug-in outlet. And you pop this thing open, it should pop open, and they've designed it to kind of be familiar looking, sort of like a gas pump. Anyway, you plug it in like that, and now it should be charging. Let's go back and look at the thingamajig. This is the little box that comes with it, and it's similar to, in look, to vehicle trickle charger, if you're familiar with those, and it tells you what the state of charge is and that it's currently charging. And once it's fully charged, it will tell me that too. And I think it takes about 8 hours on standard 120 volt household current to juice this thing up. And once it is juiced up, you can go up to about 12 miles, give or take, depending on how you drive, just on the batteries. Now the interesting thing about these hybrids, and here I'm going to go into my rant, which is something you generally won't find most automotive journalists doing. Most of them will just tell you the stats and give you the stuff that's in the press kit. I'm going to give you my take on this. I feel bad for the engineers who are trying to design these things because they're faced with conflicting priorities. On the one hand, nominally, the whole concept, the whole idea behind a hybrid or behind an electric car is efficiency and economy. If those were the primary driving criteria, great. You know, you'd have a relatively inexpensive vehicle that got tremendous gas mileage or could go really far on just the batteries, and that would be pretty cool. The problem is, in order to do that, you'd probably have to make it pretty light and pretty slow, and then most people probably wouldn't want to buy one. So they've had to make most of these vehicles, if you look into the stats, powerful and quick. In addition to being plug-in hybrids that supposedly save you money. And the problem is that doesn't work out really well. So here you have a case in point. This hybrid Countryman is pretty quick. It does 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds, so it's actually quite comparable to the turbocharged S version of the Countryman, the non-hybrid version. And it's only slightly more economical overall. Now theoretically, if you ran it more on the batteries, for short distances and kind of gimped it along, yeah, your overall total, they call it EMPG, could be significantly better, but on the other hand, the cost is so high, it kind of hardly makes much of a difference. You know, you're paying several $1,000s more to get this plug-in hybrid versus the same thing in a non-hybrid. If they didn't have to emphasize performance so much, things might be different. You know, I don't know. I'm not a marketing guy, I'm just a journalist, but I wonder whether people would be more receptive to a vehicle like this that could go, say, 35 miles on just the batteries, and which cost less because it didn't have to be so jazzy and powerful. Would that sell if it took, let's say, 9 seconds to get to 60? 9 seconds isn't slow, by the way. If you look around at the stats, you'll find that the slowest cars on the market get there in about 9 seconds, and it's only slow relative to the extreme quickness of many modern cars. It's now common for even a family car like a Honda Accord or a Toyota Camry to get to 60 about as quickly as this turbo plug-in hybrid Mini Countryman. They all get to 60 in around 6 seconds or even less, some of them. Anyway, it's not as though you'd be driving a dog that couldn't get out of its own way if you drove a car that got to 60 in around 9 seconds or so. For the most part, traffic isn't moving at top speed. For the most part, people just kind of poke along. And it might be cool to have a cute little car like this that got phenomenal gas mileage or could go 30-something miles on just the batteries, and that would make it very, very practical for most people, make it possible for them to operate almost entirely on the batteries most of the time, and thereby buy very little gas. Anyway, I'm going to rant about this more at length in the written article, which should be up shortly at epautos.com. the web's best libertarian gearhead site. Thanks for viewing, and we will catch up with you again soon.